Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is game number 3 here today between kAra and DieStar. kAra winning the first 2 games. He is off to a roll with a lot of early game pressure, starting off with a 4-gate in game number 1, game number 2, moving into a proxy gateway, and here we are at game number 3, and it's going to be another proxy. Oh man, kAra loves early game pressure. You can tell that right off. Just given by the fact that he is out so early. There's no reason to scout this early before your 9 pylon. And since he's moving out this early, it implies that we will be seeing a proxy pylon somewhere from him. So let's see what happens. Good luck, have fun, GG coming from DieStar. kAra responding with good luck, have fun. There it is. Proxy pylon gets dropped down. Gateway coming probably right here. And then we will be seeing some Zealots stream into the main base of DieStar. Oh, how frustrating indeed it must be. DieStar with that 10 supply depot. 12 racks sure to come in just a moment. It should be, yeah, right around here. Is he going to be building it in a little bit? I'm guessing so. Let's take a look. Where is it? There it is. 12 racks coming through, and we'll keep an eye out for that 13 refinery. See if he will be doing a standard opener, or he could be going Reaper fast expand. That's actually what he tried to do the first game, and the second game he was aiming along that route as well. There is the gateway, gets dropped down, scouting in, checking the 12 o'clock, realizing that he's not there. He will now be moving down into the 9 o'clock, as he knows for certain that is where he's going to be. And there is the refinery coming on through. Rack's going to be out in a little bit. Gateway almost finished. You're going to notice he will only be on 1 assimilator early on because he's going for very early pressure and will be spending a lot of minerals on that early aggression. He doesn't want to pull too many guys off of that main resource line there, mining those minerals. So only going to be sitting on 1 assimilator for the early stage of the game. Chrono boosting out that first Zealot. Here it comes. Marine now coming on through, orbital command as well. And again, I don't know that he's gonna scout this until he gets into the main base, and by that time the first Zealot will, in fact, he's not gonna scout that. He's gonna know by the time he scouts it, because that first Zealot will be in the main base here of DieStar. And there it is, second racks. This is gonna let him deal with some early pressure. At long last, DieStar is going to have at least something capable of dealing with this. So there's that first Zealot, and given the fact that it's already here, he knows what's taking place. Canceling off that tech lab, going straight for another Marine. Here comes a bunker in the resource line. We'll be engaging with some SCVs, as well as that Marine just wants to buy himself a little bit of space for that Marine. You can see how quickly that Marine will get taken out when that Zealot gets up close to him. So just trying to micro away, buy himself some space. Nice there. Very close, though. The probe's going to come down. Try to take him out. Doesn't end up working that way for him. We'll just should be seeing continuous Marine production here. As long as he can afford it. You can see his resources are very low as he's been losing some early game SCVs. There's another SCV taken out. And yeah, just going to be microing around and trying to take him out. We do have a tech lab finally coming on through as he's feeling comfortable with the amount of Marines he has. Now that transition to Stalkers is coming on out as well as expected. First Stalker coming through, second Stalker also being chrono boosted out. He will not get a bunker out front in time. The unfortunate part of that is the fact that now we got guys in the main, and he's got free reign on that supply depot. He's going to be able to go to that tech lab as well. He just needs to stay away from this bunker, basically. That's all he needs to do. Concussive Shell with a Marauder coming out, that's going to help him deal with that Stalker much, much better. And kAra just trying to do as much damage as possible. Marines coming back and forth. There's a Marauder. He goes straight for that Stalker. Concussive Shell not yet finished, though. Allows that Stalker to get away before he loses his life. Again, trying to engage. Gets the, very nice, gets the Zealot. Marauder gets into the bunker. This Marine is a goner, however. Those Stalkers, again, just trying to do a bit of damage, if at all possible. Now let's see. For Scout, not over here. He brought himself into the main, but then decided to peace on out. I don't know what this guy... Oh, that probe's got a kill. He must have killed off the SCV, actually. 2 more gateways coming through. Warp gate research very close to finished, so he's going to keep up this early game pressure, trying to come down with a frontal bunker. That's going to be very difficult as the Stalker pressure will be continuing here from kAra. He just keeps moving on into the main, doing what he can. That Stalker is gone, though. Down to just 2 Stalkers. SCV's helping the cause as well. Another Marine pops out. We got another Marauder coming on through. 1 Marauder taken out. That Stalker, oh boy, he could have actually been killed by some SCVs, but they end up pulling back. This Marauder gonna be able to get a quick snipe there, but the Stalkers pull back just in time. Now he's got a moment of breathing room to actually drop down that bunker, and there it is back over here. We can see 2, 3, and number 4 gateways coming through. That probe still sitting idly over there. That's disappointing. kAra, that's not optimal whatsoever. He should be mining. Taking out the Stalker at low health, and able to pull on back a little bit. He ends up losing his life again. Doesn't matter. Another Marauder pops out. SCV gets taken out. Need another one from the line. now that this bunker up, DieStar is all of a sudden feeling a bit more comfortable. Now he will be hit with 4 gates worth of units. That's what we're going to be seeing churning out here for kAra. kAra is so dedicated here to this one base play. He's just going to be sticking there. He's got 22 workers. Actually finally coming out with a couple more here. So he might be preparing for a transition. We'll have to see what he decides to do. We have that one warp gate over there with that pylon. Of course, he's able to warp in right on the main battlefield and be able to buy himself a little bit of a closer distance there for those warp. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Forget all that stuff that I just said about a moment ago. All right, one bunker is up. We got a factory coming out, preparing for that transition. Also got an expansion coming on through. So he's really preparing himself for the next stage of the game. But here comes the heavy, heavy pressure. Nice force field, delaying the repair on this bunker. Is he going to drop it? No, just barely. Not able to drop it as the mass SCV repair keeps it up. Again, we are seeing a transition here from DieStar, preparing to work his way up into medevac tech. Also got that expansion preparation coming up through. Expansion comes over here for kAra as well. So both players preparing for that next stage of the game. You know, at this point, kAra will be hard-pressed to really do too much more damage. I think what he's going to try to do now, though, is try to delay the expansion with this single sentry that he has, being able to drop a force field and prevent the forces of DieStar from pushing out against this and trying to delay that expansion as long as possible and just buy himself enough time to get his Nexus up and running and start getting that saturated and taking advantage of that extra econ. And there's the SCV scout in the main. I think that was a second one that he just sent out, unless that was the same one from before and I happened to miss it for some reason. Transition into robotics coming on through here for kAra. Again, just going for the contain at this point. We will be having medevacs coming into play as soon as that starport finishes. Also reactor here in this factory that will allow for that double medevac production. And here comes another barracks. Bio-heavy is what we'll be seeing from DieStar. So weird finally seeing normal army compositions from either players. Bio-heavy, medevac. I mean, first 2 games were just so ridiculously short. And here it is, kAra managing to succeed in what he tried to do. Buy himself time to get this up and running and then just pull back. Now we know, obviously, he will be losing this warp gate as soon as DieStar does push out against that. And there we go, the reactor just finishing now in that factory. There's the hot swap, double medevacs coming right up. As soon as he gets enough Vespene for that second one, that is. That expansion should be happening in just a moment. Let's take a look at the transition there. Will be Immortals here from kAra, not going into Colossus quite yet. We're just sticking with some early game Immortals. Factory Scout moving out. That'll allow him to spot that warp gate most likely. Hopefully we see that expansion. There it is. 2 bunkers coming down. Should be seeing this lifted off in just 1 second. I'm guessing after this SCV finishes. And here comes a Tech Lab and a reactor. So Marauder heavy. Throwing in some Marines there as well. Observer Scout moving into the main there for kAra. He'll be seeing pretty standard unit composition. He'll also be seeing that that expansion is now finally going down. Factory Scout doesn't see it yet. Oh my gosh. Come on, you're so close. Just move it down a little bit. It'll scout out that warp gate and get that free kill. That'd certainly be a great idea, wouldn't it? Back over here, still Immortal production coming out from kAra. Now, obviously, you might say, oh, why is he going for Immortal? Shouldn't he be going up to Colossus? Immortals are fine, especially if your Terran opponent is Marauder heavy and you're skillful enough to be able to use those Immortals to target fire. Because the last thing you want those Immortals doing is attack. There we go, finally scouts out that warp gate. Should be moving up to kill it. The last thing you want those Immortals doing is target firing Marines. So as long as you grab them, take specific control, and make sure they're hitting those Marauders, and those Immortals will actually do very, very well. And here we go, kAra now mobilizing. Why aren't you taking out that warp gate that you scouted? That would make 1 less warp in round for your opponent. He's just pushing out. Why is he not killing that? My gosh, I do not know what he is thinking right now. That is a free kill that would really hurt your opponent. That'd be 1 less warp in every time. That adds up pretty significantly after a few rounds. There we go, finally moving down to take care of that. kAra prepared though as he moves on forward with his forces stimming up. DieStar's a little concerned. That is a big army coming at him right now. Going straight back for those bunkers. And actually all kAra's doing right now is defending that warp gate. There you go. I don't know why DieStar had like at least a good 60 seconds before kAra's forces were anywhere near his base that he could have killed off that warp gate. It may not sound huge, but it makes a difference. I mean, back over here at home, you can see he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 warp gates. So he's got a total of 6 gates right now. That could be cut down to just 5, and that would make a difference after a couple warp ins, you know? Again, it adds up pretty quickly. kAra with a pretty large force. Here it comes. 64 army supplies opposed to 47. There are the force fields as you expect. Cutting the army in half of DieStar, and the engagement actually going pretty well here for kAra. Very beautiful force fields. Guardian shields really cutting back on the damage from DieStar's forces. SCV's forced down. Mass repair going down in that bunker. Was Immortal still able to cut through it, though. SCVs can't repair fast enough. Bio still doing damage. SCV's forced to move down to engage. Another warping of Zealots moves forward and is going to push DieStar back into the main, and DieStar is in a lot of trouble. He has got a few more units coming out. Going to try to stick with it, see if he can continue to fight here. Against this push, it's not looking good at all, though. Taking a look at resources lost, DieStar significantly behind. DieStar just leaves the game, and that's going to do it for this series. Alright, my friends, that is going to do it for this series here between kAra and DieStar. kAra cleaning house, winning 3 games to 0 against DieStar. All really the result of early game aggression. Although the early pressure of this game wasn't the most successful, certainly not as successful as games number 1 and 2, he still managed to do enough damage, delay DieStar's expansion enough, and continue with a secondary, very large push, and with the beautiful Guardian Shields plus Force Fields, muscling through DieStar's forces and making for the GG. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, if you enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned in the future for more StarCraft 2 and general gaming content. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, keep watching and keep owning.